Now listen to me closely. The moment you stop needing everything to validate who you are, you become unstoppable. The chains that once held you back begin to fall off, and suddenly you're not begging life to treat you right. You're commanding it with the strength of who you've become. And here's the truth. The one rule for success, the rule that separates the broken from the breakthrough is this: you must learn that art of detachment. If you cannot let go, you cannot rise. Some of you are sitting here tonight carrying pain that doesn't belong to your future. You're dragging opinions of people who never built anything in their lives. You're clutching onto failures as if they define you. And you wonder why you feel heavy, why you feel stuck. It is because you have not yet mastered the rule. You are still trying to build skyscrapers on foundations of sand. Success does not come to those who are attached to what broke them. Success comes to those who can walk away and not look back. Detachment is not weakness. It is strength. It is the quiet roar of a soul that refuses to be enslaved by approval, by rejection, by temporary emotion. It's the wisdom to say, I will love you, but I will not lose myself in you. I will serve my vision, but I will not be crushed by its delay. I will feel the pain, but I will not bow to it. That's power. That's freedom. That's freedom. The one rule for success says, don't let the weight of what you carry blind you to who you are becoming. You dream differently, and the universe bends to meet the one who knows where they stand. When you master detachment, your spirit stops living on trial in other people's courtroom. You don't wait for their permission to rise. You don't beg for applause before you act. You know within yourself, I am more than enough. I am chosen for this. I am sent for this. And you step forward with that assurance. Listen, the storms of life are not going away. The betrayals, the failures, the disappointments, they are part of the curriculum. But detachment teaches you how to dance in the storm without drowning in it. It teaches you how to love people without worshiping them. How to pursue goals without becoming a slave to them. How to win battles without being defined by them. And the beauty of detachment is this: it does not take you away from life, it gives life back to you. Suddenly you are not reacting, you are creating. You are not shrinking, you are expanding. You are not bound, you are free. So if you want success, if you want peace, if you want freedom, remember this: detach from the noise, detach from the approval, detach from the outcome. Be in the world, but not of it. Love the journey, but do not worship the result. Give your all, but do not let your soul be auctioned to the highest bidder of circumstance. That is the one rule, the rule that changes everything, the rule that makes you unshakable, the rule that lifts you from survival to significance. And when you walk out of here today, don't just hear these words, live them. Because the moment you detach, the moment you release, the moment you let go of what no longer serves you, you will finally have room to embrace the life that was waiting for you all along. Well, let me tell you something. Sometimes the greatest obstacle to your success is not the mountain in front of you, it's the fog in your vision. And that fog is created when you are too attached to your pain, your past, and your problems. You can't see clearly when you're carrying yesterday on your back. You can't hear the voice of your future when you're still tuned into the echoes of your failures. Some of you in this room, you've been mislabeling yourself. You've been saying, I'm a failure, I'm not enough, I'm broken. But hear me, you are not your divorce, you are not your bankruptcy, you are not your rejection letter, you are not the mistakes you made when you didn't know better. Those are events, those are chapters, they are not your identity. But when you are attached to them, when you keep rehearsing them, replaying them, recycling them, you blind yourself to who you truly are, detached to see clearly. When you step back, when you loosen your grip, when you say, I am not defined by this, suddenly clarity comes rushing in, and clarity is power. You begin to see possibilities where you once saw problems. You begin to see open doors where you once saw walls. You begin to see yourself as capable, worthy, chosen. Now, don't misunderstand me. Detachment doesn't mean denial. It doesn't mean you pretend that nothing happened. It means you stop letting what happened control how you see yourself, your future, your potential. It means you recognize, yes, it hurt me. Yes, it shaped me, but it will not blind me. Because here's the truth. When you're attached to the wrong thing, you miss the right thing. When your eyes are fixed on who left you, you can't see who's coming to bless you. When you're holding on to old failure, you don't have the capacity to grab hold of new success. And when you're clinging to the opinions of people who never believed in themselves, you miss the whispers of God telling you who you truly are. Detached to see clearly. It's like cleaning a dirty window. You didn't realize how foggy your perspective was until you wiped it clean. That's what happens when you release, when you let go, when you stop making your wounds your identity. Suddenly, the vision sharpens. The path becomes visible. You can finally see the difference between what is urgent and what is important, between what is temporary and what is eternal. And once you see clearly, you stop stumbling in the dark. You stop chasing things that don't align with your destiny. You stop begging for crumbs when you were born to own the table. You move with intention, with focus, with power, because your sight has been restored. So I say it again, detach to see clearly. Don't let the smokescreen of your past rob you of the vision of your future. You are not the storm you went through. You are the survivor standing in the sunlight after it passed. And until you detach from what you are not, you will never see who you truly are. Let me ask you something. How many of you have been living your life waiting for someone else to clap for you? How many of you have dimmed your light just so you wouldn't make someone else uncomfortable? How many of you have delayed your dream because you were afraid of what they might say? Listen to me. If you are addicted to approval, you will always be a prisoner of other people's opinions. You'll never know freedom. You'll never know peace. Because you'll be dancing to the rhythm of their insecurities instead of walking to the beat of your destiny. I came here to tell you tonight, you don't need their permission to rise. You don't need their validation to pursue what's burning inside of you. The same God that placed the vision within you is the same God that gave you everything you need to manifest it. And he didn't consult your critics before he called you. See, the danger of living for approval is this. The people you're trying to please don't even know where they're going themselves. You're asking for directions from people who are lost. You're begging for affirmation from people who never affirm their own dreams. And when you tie your confidence to their opinions, you hand over the keys to your future into shaky, unworthy hands. When you detach from the need for approval, something powerful happens. You walk into rooms differently. You speak with authority. You stop apologizing for being who you are. You no longer negotiate your greatness to fit into their comfort zone. You understand that your worth is not up for debate. You stop waiting for someone to announce you because you realize you are already announced by your purpose. Now let me make this clear. I'm not telling you to become arrogant. I'm telling you to become free. Detachment from approval doesn't mean you stop loving people. It doesn't mean you stop respecting wisdom. It means you stop being enslaved by whether or not they approve of you. You can respect someone's perspective without being ruled by it. Because here's the reality. The moment you succeed, there will be people who celebrate you and people who criticize you. And sometimes it'll be the same people. If you're living for their approval, you'll be tossed back and forth like a leaf in the wind. But when you detach, when you anchor yourself in your vision, their applause won't make you and their rejection won't break you. Some of you need to stop shrinking for people who refuse to grow. Some of you need to stop asking small-minded people to co-sign on a big vision they can't even comprehend. You've been waiting on their yes when all you needed was God's go. Freedom from approval is freedom to live. Freedom to breathe. Freedom to run your race without carrying the heavy chains of public opinion. And the day you embrace that freedom is the day you step into unstoppable success. Just let me tell you something. Emotions are powerful, but they are terrible masters. If you let your feelings lead your life, you will always be at the mercy of the moment. 1 minute you're on fire, the next minute you're ready to quit. One day you're confident, the next day you're drowning, and you can't build a lasting future on that shaky ground. Success belongs to those who have learned how to feel deeply, but act wisely. It belongs to those who know how to honor their emotions without being enslaved by them. Because here's the truth. You will never always feel like showing up. You won't always feel like being disciplined. You won't always feel like doing the work. But success doesn't care about your feelings. It responds to your commitment. Some of you have been sabotaging your own destiny because you keep bowing to your emotions. You got angry, so you quit. You felt unworthy, so you never tried. You felt tired, so you broke your consistency. And now you're wondering why nothing has shifted it. It's because you've been serving your feelings instead of making them serve you. Listen to me. Discipline is stronger than motivation. Discipline is what makes you keep going when motivation runs out. Detachment teaches you that your emotions are not who you are. They are signals, not dictators. They can inform you, but they cannot define you. Think about it. Pilot doesn't turn the plane around every time there's turbulence. If they did, nobody would ever get anywhere. They steady their hand. They trust the instruments. They rise above the storm. That's what you must do when emotions rage. You steady yourself in your vision. You hold on to your discipline. You keep pressing forward because you know storms are temporary, but purpose is eternal. And let me give you a secret. When you stop serving your emotions will begin to serve you. That fear, it can sharpen your focus. That doubt, it can fuel your growth. That anger, it can be converted into energy to push harder. But only if you detach. Only if you stand above them instead of drowning beneath them. So I came to tell you, stop bowing at the altar of your feelings. Stop waiting until you feel ready. Stop waiting until you feel brave. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is moving forward in spite of fear. Strength is not the absence of weakness. It is standing tall while weakness screams for you to sit down. The people who succeed are not those who feel the best every day. They are those who master their emotions, refuse to serve them, and keep showing up no matter what the storm inside them says. And that, my friends, is freedom. That is power. That is mastery. When you master your emotions, you stop living on the roller coaster of inconsistency, and you start walking on the solid ground of destiny. Let me speak directly to your heart. You cannot step into tomorrow while dragging the dead weight of yesterday. You cannot embrace what is waiting for you if your hands are still clenched around what broke you. There is power in letting go. Some of you have been holding on to pain so long that it has become your identity. You've been holding on to a relationship that already ended, a mistake you already made, a failure that already happened. And every time you rehearse it, every time you replay it, you chain yourself to a past that can no longer change. Letting go does not mean forgetting. It does not mean pretending it never happened. It means you stop giving it authority over your present. It means you declare, this chapter has ended, but my story is not over. It means you recognize that you cannot heal while you are still picking at the wound. Your past was meant to teach you, not to trap you. The lesson was the gift. The pain was the process. But once the lesson is learned, you must release the pain. If you keep carrying it, it will bleed into your destiny. It will sabotage your future. It will blind you to the blessing standing right in front of you. I've seen people sabotage the next opportunity because they never let go of the last betrayal. I've seen people resist love because they never healed from old heartbreak. I've seen people abandon their vision because they never released the voice that once told them they couldn't. But here's the truth. When you let go, you create space. Space for joy. Space for clarity. Space for new opportunities. Space for new people to enter your life. When you unclench your fist from the ashes, you make room to hold the fire of your future. And I know it's hard. Letting go feels like loss. It feels like surrender. But what if I told you it's not loss, it's liberation. It's not weakness, it's wisdom. Sometimes the bravest thing you will ever do is to release what you thought you needed so that you can receive what you were truly destined for. Imagine an eagle trying to soar while chained to a rock. That's what it looks like when you cling to what no longer serves you. The sky is waiting, but you cannot fly until you let go of what is holding you down. So I challenge you tonight. Stop revisiting tombs and expecting life to come out of them. Stop rehearsing conversations with people who are no longer part of your assignment. Stop dragging expired seasons into a present that deserves better. Let it go. Let go of the pain. Let go of the shame. Let go of the fear. Let go of the approval you never got. Let go of the story that says you can't. Because when you let go, you don't just release the past, you release yourself. And when you release yourself, you rise. You rise lighter. You rise freer. You rise ready. The power of letting go is the power of unlocking the life that was waiting for you all along. Let me make something clear. Detachment is not abandonment. Detachment is not indifference, indifference. Detachment is not saying, I don't care. No, detachment is the highest form of strength because it allows you to love fully without losing yourself in the process. See, some people confuse attachment with love. They think clinging to someone, begging for their approval, sacrificing their own worth just to keep them close. That's love. No, that's bondage. Real love is rooted in freedom. Real service is rooted in strength. Real connection comes when you choose to give without needing to control or to be controlled. Detachment without disconnecting means you can show up for people, but not collapse when they don't show up for you. It means you can pour into others, but not run dry because you've tied your identity to their response. It means you can invest in relationships, in dreams, in missions, but you are not shattered if they don't unfold the way you expected. This is what it looks like. You can love your family deeply, but their disbelief in your dream doesn't stop you. Oh, you can give your heart in service, but their rejection doesn't rob you of your joy. You can show kindness, compassion, generosity, but if it's not returned, you still stand, you still rise, you still move forward. And isn't that what true freedom looks like? To be so rooted in who you are that no circumstance can pull you out of alignment. To be so grounded in your vision that you don't crumble under delay. To be so anchored in purpose that whether they clap or criticize, you stay steady, you stay focused, you stay whole. Detachment without disconnecting means you can walk into any room and not shrink if no one notices you. You can walk into any storm and not lose yourself in the chaos. You can face any season and say, this may shift around me, but it will not shake what's within me. And let me tell you, this kind of strength doesn't make you colder. It makes you warmer. It doesn't make you selfish. It makes you selfless. Because when you are not enslaved by outcomes, you can love without fear. You can give without expectation. You can serve without secretly keeping score. You're not loving for what you can get. You're loving because of who you are. That's the power of detachment without disconnecting. To walk through this life with an open heart, but not an entangled one. To lift people, but not be dragged down by them. To live free, yet remain deeply connected to what truly matters. Let me tell you something. Success doesn't go to the most talented. It doesn't always go to the smartest. It doesn't even go to the strongest. Success goes to the ones who can stay focused. The ones who anchor themselves to their vision when everything around them is screaming for their attention. We live in a noisy world. Distractions are everywhere. People are scrolling their lives away. Opportunities are passed by because their eyes are glued to someone else's highlight reel. Some of you are not tired because you're doing too much. You're tired because you're doing too little of what actually matters. You've been scattering your energy instead of anchoring it. An anchor doesn't stop the storm, but it keeps the ship from drifting. That's what vision does for your life. If you are not anchored in vision, you will drift into jobs you hate, relationships that drain you, habits that destroy you. You'll drift into survival when you were created for significance. But when you are anchored in vision, the storm may rage, but you will not lose your course. And let me warn you, distraction will always look like opportunity. It will always whisper, come this way, it's easy over here. But ease is the enemy of greatness. Comfort is the thief of destiny. The enemy of purpose is not always failure. It's distraction. Because if the enemy can't kill you, he'll settle for keeping you busy doing things that don't matter. Anchored in vision means you wake up with clarity. You know what deserves your energy and what doesn't. You stop chasing every invitation, every shiny object, every opinion. You learn to say no. You learn to cut off what doesn't align. You learn to protect your focus like it's your lifeline, because it is. Some of you are drowning in noise because you haven't declared what your vision is. When you don't know where you're going, everything will look like the right road. But when you are clear, when you are anchored, distractions lose their power. You stop wandering and you start building. And hear me. Vision is not just what you see with your eyes. It's what you see with your spirit. It's the picture of who you are becoming. It's the calling that pulls you forward. It's the fire inside that won't let you quit. Anchor yourself in that, and nothing can stop you. When you live anchored in vision, you won't be tossed by rejection. You won't be seduced by shortcuts, and you won't be lured away by temporary rewards. You'll know, I'm not here for applause. I'm not here for approval. I'm not here for comfort. I'm here for destiny. And once you live anchored in vision, you don't just survive distractions, you rise above them. You rise focused. You rise disciplined. You rise unshakable. Let me remind you of something eternal. You were born in this world, but you were never meant to be owned by it. You are here to walk through life, not to be chained by it. And the moment you forget that, you will spend your days chasing what was never designed to fill you. The world will try to define you by what you wear, what you drive, how much you make, who knows your name. But let me tell you, that is not success. That is slavery dressed up as status. Because the moment those things shift, your identity crumbles with them. To be in the world, but none of it means you can engage with everything around you. Opportunities, relationships, platforms, wealth. But none of it defines your worth. It means you use resources without worshiping them. You embrace success without being consumed by it. You experience loss without being destroyed by it. See, the world wants to pull you into a game of comparison, competition, and consumption. But when you are not of it, you rise above it. You don't measure yourself against someone else's race. You run your own. You don't let culture dictate your values. You anchor them in your calling. You don't chase trends. You walk in timeless truth. And here's the beauty. When you are not of this world, you can finally serve it. You can finally love it because you're not clinging to it for validation. You can step into a room of power and not be intoxicated by it. You can face rejection and not be shattered by it. You can experience wealth and not be enslaved by it. That's what it means to be free. Being in the world, but not of it, means you live with open hands. If it comes, I'll use it. If it leaves, I'll keep moving. If it grows, I'll be grateful. If it shrinks, I'll still be faithful. Nothing can shake me, because my source is not this world. My source is greater. My foundation is deeper. My purpose is eternal. And when you live like that, people can't figure you out. They'll wonder, how is she still standing? How is he still smiling? How is he still moving forward after all that? It's because you are not of this world. You are anchored in something higher, something greater, something eternal. So hear me tonight. Live in the world, but don't belong to it. Walk through it, but don't be ruled by it. Use it, but don't let it use you. Because when you rise above the noise, when you detach from the illusion, when you live from your true source, you don't just succeed. You transcend. You don't just survive. You transform. And that, my friends, is the highest form of success. And my friends, hear me clearly. The one rule for success is not about how much you can collect. It's about how much you can release. It's not about how tight you can hold, but how tight you can hold, but how free you can stand. Detachment is not weakness. It is the highest form of strength. We walk through it together tonight. Detach so you can see clearly. Detach from the approval of others so you can finally hear the voice within. Detach from your emotions so you can master them instead of serving them. Detach by letting go of what no longer serves you so you can step into what's waiting for you. Detach without disconnecting so you can love deeply without losing yourself. Detach by anchoring in vision so distractions can't pull you away. And finally, live in this world but refuse to be owned by it because your calling, your destiny, your essence comes from a source far greater than what you see around you. This right here is the rule. The one rule that will free you from fear, from chains, from approval, from distraction.